DKT UPSC CSE। अगर आप केवल सिविल सर्विस परीक्षा के प्रीलिम्स, मेंस और इंटरव्यू के वीडियो देखना चाहते हैं तो सब्सक्राइब करें DKT UPSC CSE चैनल। यहाँ आपको टॉपर्स के वीडियो रैंक के हिसाब से अरेंज मिलेंगे। चैनल के लिंक के लिए डिस्क्रिप्शन बॉक्स में जाएं।
Hi, I am Roja S Rajan. I have secured AIR 108 in UPSC CSE 2021. This was my second attempt and my optional was anthropology. I am getting into the Indian Foreign Services. So in my first attempt, I was not able to clear prelims because of CSAT, and I would like to discuss about how I tackled CSAT and how I tackled the CSAT failure despite having a engineering background. So in my first attempt, what happened was I did not take CSAT much seriously, but I did not leave it as such. So for the last 1 month of preparation, just before the prelims, I was doing some problems and I was looking into the previous year questions, and everything seemed pretty much okay. And I did my paper 1 in the morning on the day of prelims exam. So paper 1 was over. So what happened was that after paper 1, I really panicked, thinking that I will not clear because I had given only 79 attempts. So I pretty much made up my mind that I will not clear the morning paper. So I really did not find any point in going for the CSAT paper. But then I thought again, I started something, so I have to finish. So I went to CSAT in that very casual mindset that anyways I'll get the prescribed marks. So I just have to casually write this exam and come out. So since I was very casual in approaching the paper, obviously I couldn't clear the paper. I got only 55 marks, and in the first paper I had cleared. Only because of the second paper I was unable to clear CSAT. Unable to clear prelims. So this was a huge blow for me because then casually people will start asking, you couldn't clear CSAT despite from engineering background. So this was something I repeatedly heard for the one whole year after 2020 prelims. So along with this, I had to do something to tackle what happened and how it should not repeat in my second attempt, how CSAT should not be a barrier for me to getting into the civil services. So what I did was that I went through the CSAT paper and I understood that some mistakes I had committed on the exam day, but even otherwise I was having some issues. So when it comes to what happened on the exam day is that I did English for 1 hour 15 minutes and I got only 45 minutes for the rest of the paper. That is around at least some 50 questions were there and I had just 45 minutes. I think there was around 30 questions from English. This was one blunder I made in the exam hall. The second thing was, in order to increase the number of attempts, I did mark some maths questions without even solving it. I was simply reading and I was assuming, oh, this must be the answer. So I just wanted to increase the number of attempts because I think I was touching around 43 or something. So even in all the mocks, I used to at least do 55 questions and still I was getting only around 85 to 90 marks. So I just wanted to increase the number of attempts, otherwise I felt like I may not be able to clear. So I simply attended few questions in maths, though they were also wrong. And then another thing that happened was, so there were some careless mistakes. That is because of my my inaptitude when it comes to numerical problem solving. That is, I am very absent-minded that I will write 4 into 3 as 7 instead of 12 because I am not pretty much focused when I am solving that whatever that equation is. When I'm solving, or I might mistake a plus for a minus, and then the whole thing will go wrong. But unfortunately, if that answer is there in the option, I'll tick that and mark it. So in this way also I had made some mistakes, and so this was what happened in my case. And in English, I attempted all the English questions and I got around 60% questions wrong. So my initial plan was to get at least 60% questions correct by attempting all the English questions and then doing bare minimum maths questions, and even if I make a few mistakes here and there, I will be able to clear CSAT. But none of this strategy worked out and I could get only 55 marks despite attempting 50 questions. So then the first thing I did was, anyways, I have one whole, like, initially I did not know I had one whole year, because my prelims exam was on October, I think it was on October 10th. Then the next exam was on May. So I did not have I think it was on June 5th or something, initial date was like that. So I had around 6 months. So I thought, okay, I'll focus on one thing. First, I'll focus on improving my numerical capabilities. So since I have not done maths in a while, I took up a SSC previous year book question bank. Then I simply started selecting one section, and for 1 month, every day 1 hour, I'll simply do this maths. So this is also, again, see, I'll do some maths. It is more fun to do maths when you are doing studying and writing for the whole day, and it will also get added as a study hour. So this is something I used to do on a daily basis. 1 hour I used to dedicate for maths, and I was doing all the problems, and then slowly my numerical ability, it came back to how it was when I was in school, when I was doing these problems. So I was able to go back to that state. So this is what I did initially, and this went pretty well. I think around from by around April, I was able to cover all the syllabus of the CSAT, and I did all these SSC questions, and then I was doing all these institute mocks. Then I was getting marks also. Then I thought, okay, CSAT is done. There's pretty much nothing left. And for English, what I did was, I was looking into these these keywords like assumption or logical corollary, or whatever that question, that specific question, what they were asking. I tried to address that, and I started sticking only with the passage given without any understanding that I am getting out of it. I was simply looking into the paragraph given, and I was addressing. So in this way, again, English also I was able to get around 60% questions correct. And then, so since, like, for instance, why this is important? Because suppose the question is asking, what are the assumptions that you get from this paragraph? There, suppose there is one statement, and that statement is directly taken from the paragraph and written there, then we tend to mark that as well as an answer. But the thing is, they are asking assumption. Assumption means what we are assuming from that paragraph. Then that assumption should not be there in the paragraph. Otherwise, it is not an assumption, it is a fact. So we should not, tick that statement as correct. So these are very silly mistakes that we can make in reading comprehension. But just by understanding what they are exactly asking, we will be able to resolve this problem when it comes to English. So this is what I taught, and then the exam got postponed, and I was again focusing on mains again. So in the last, like, say 2 weeks before the exam, like I think around 10 days before the prelims exam, I looked into the CSAT previous year question papers, and I was shocked to understand that I am not able to do the maths that is asked by the UPSC, by the UPSC. That is the previous year questions I am not able to do. But when I am doing those institute mocks, I am getting around, very high scores I am getting. But so then I did not know what went wrong, and what happened. So then I started analyzing the previous year questions. Then I understood there is two things. One, the mathematical questions that UPSC is asking, those are more about, we have to come up with a solution. Then we have to do some simple maths in order to reach the answer. We don't have to by heart lots of formula, and just by applying that formula or some shortcut we'll be able to get the answer. Those kind of questions UPSC is not asking for CSAT. They are more checking our thinking capability when it comes to problem solving. So only those kind of mathematical questions they are asking. This is the first lesson I learned. Second lesson is, questions are not repeating at all. That is, similar questions might come, but they are not at all repeating. Like in SSC and all, there will be a particular type of question, and the numbers will change, but the question as such is the same. So if you know the step to do this question, you just have to do the mathematical part, then you will get the answer. You just have to by heart the formula or the step in order to reach the answer. But UPSC is not asking this. UPSC is asking more like, the question will be there, you have to think, and if you get the solution, you will be able to get the answer for that. So I understood this, but when I was again solving the questions, some of the questions, when I stopped panicking, when I sat calmly, I was able to solve. But there were few other questions that I understood, never in a million years I will be able to solve these kind of questions. So I understood I just have to leave them. but there are questions that are solvable. There are easy questions, there are moderate level questions, there are difficult questions. That again changes with the individual's capability. So what might be difficult for me might be easy for you, and vice versa. So I decided the very difficult questions, I will not do them. So since I did this much mathematical exercise, this much questions I was solving, again I was analyzing the paper, one skill I acquired was when I'm seeing a question, I'm able to understand whether I will be able to solve it or not. So this understanding I got by this analysis alone, and with this exercise I was doing for the past few months. So this was very helpful. So I'll come to that in the later part of the discussion. So then I understood some questions I'll never be able to do, I'll have to leave them. And there are some questions that is, they might get repeated in a different way, like the entire question will not get repeated with different numbers, but a similar type of question can come. So then I started looking for the solutions. I tried to understand the question from the solution, so that if at all a similar kind of question is coming, a similar thought process might help me to reach a solution, and that strategy worked as well. So you can also practice those. And in order to practice, I was relying on questions from 2013 until 2020 paper. I went through each year paper separately. Maths alone, I was solving maths alone each years. Then I was coming into these kind of insights and understandings. Then another thing about the CSAT, I mean the next part what I want to discuss is about how to handle the paper in exam time. That is, when it comes to the actual examination, there is again certain things that we have to keep in mind. So one thing is, UPSC sprinkles easy questions here and there across the paper. So you should be reading all the 80 questions, at least going through, your eyes should at least glance over all the 80 questions at least twice, because you shouldn't miss out any easy questions that could have easily fetched you 2.5 marks in maybe less than 10 seconds. So because then you will feel really bad after the exam. Maybe just that one question would have been, with just that one question you would have been able to clear CSAT. So that should not happen. So in order to glance through the paper, you have to come up with a strategy of your own, such that your speed is at the most efficient level. So in my case, what I tried is, I tried doing English alone, then doing maths alone. That was a failure in the first exam itself. That was the example. No. Then what I did, I did maths first and then I did English. Then again I noticed in English I am making mistakes when I am doing like this. So I understood both of these tactics are not working for me. Then what I did was, I started doing serially. So when I'm doing serially, things are looking okay. So then I thought, okay, fine, I'll just go serially. I was at least able to cover the paper once or twice. So this is what I thought. But the next thing I learned it right there in the examination hall. That is, when I started with the paper. So you should know that paper 1 I attempted 82 questions. I don't know how it went. But since I attempted 79 questions the last year and still cleared, I got above cutoff marks for paper 1. I was pretty sure I might be clearing paper 1 this year, second year. So in any chance, I should not risk with CSAT paper. I have to clear CSAT paper. So this is there in my mind. So instead of being very scared or anxious about it, in my mind, I just made it a point that at any cost, I have to clear this paper. So I started with the first, serially I started 1, 2, 3, 4, I started doing. Then I felt that my brain is getting exhausted after doing few questions. Suppose I was doing English, after say 5, 6 questions, my brain is getting exhausted. This I was able to understand. So what I did was, instead of continuing the thing serially, I folded the paper there. Then I went to some maths questions. Then I solved some maths questions. Then I felt like my brain is again efficient. Then after some time it was wearing down. Then I felt, okay, I'll flip to English. Then I folded the paper and I flipped to another page and I was doing English. So in this way, I could, cover the whole paper twice, and I did 48 questions. And I told myself 48 is enough. With 48, I can clear. If I do more, just because I did more, I may not be clearing, like what happened last year. So I learned from my mistake and I stopped at 48. And in this attempt, I was able to find those easy maths questions that is sprinkled here and there. And another thing is, when it comes to English questions, my initial strategy was to do all the questions. So during that, after first exam, before paper 2, there was a small break. During that time, I was looking through the English papers, and then I felt like, so I did previous year wise, like I did 2013 together, then 2014 together, like that I'm doing. So since it's English, it won't take much time to do as well. And so when I did 1 year together, I did all the questions, and then I realized I am anyways getting few questions wrong. So then I looked at those questions that I'm getting wrong. I looked whether there is any pattern that is getting repeated in the type of questions I'm getting wrong. Then I understood I am getting those questions wrong where there is some kind of vagueness, like two options will be there, B and C, both are looking equally correct, so it is very confusing. And since for paper 1 all of us are having this strategy, if it is a 50-50 question we are attempting, because there is 50-50 chance of getting it correct or 50-50 chance of getting it wrong. So the same strategy I was applying on English paper until the first attempt. So in this break period I understood that it is these 50-50 questions that I am making wrong. So this is something I cannot correct, or I did not want to leave it to chance that I will get it correct. So what I did was I decided to leave these 50-50 questions. So then I looked, if I am leaving these 50-50 questions, I'll have to leave at least around 5 to 6 English questions. So okay, I thought fine, it's okay, I'll just leave 5 to 6 English questions, rest I'll do. So even if I make few mistakes in the remaining English questions, say 3 or 4, it is okay. And since my numerical ability is better this time, I may not be doing much mistakes in maths. So there also I might make around maximum 3 to 4 mistakes. Even then I am only getting less than 10 questions wrong. So I am on a safe zone. So this was my strategy, and this I devised on the exam day, and thankfully it worked. So you can also try these kind of different strategies, mix it, match it before the exam. And I mean, doing it right on the exam day is a little bit trickier. In my case, I was ailing from post-COVID complications, and I got very less time to prepare for my second prelims. So this was my only option. But I just wanted to share the insights I gained from this risky experience, so that you can also try it and find your own method in which you can clear CSAT. This is what I have understood about the paper, is that we have to come up with some strategy, because we will be having some strength and some weakness. By clearly understanding what is our strength and what is our weakness and applying it in this exam in a clever manner, we will be able to clear CSAT paper. And this logic applies to paper 1 as well, but it applies more to CSAT paper because it is becoming a roadblock for many of us for not getting into the service just because we are not clearing the CSAT paper. So I hope this session was useful. Thank you.